Got an email this morning. Some dastardly villain out there trying to blackmail me. What's the world coming to when a man can't wake up, read his emails, have a cup of coffee without blackmail attempt? That's what I'm going to talk about on this here video. Where do I begin? How about let's start out with the email. I'm going to read you the email that was sent. And then I'm going to tell you who this particular villain is. So if this interests you, welcome to my show. First off, folks, not to get too overly dramatic, but we all get phishing type emails, blackmail. Hey, if you don't do this, you don't send me this money, I'm going to do this. We get this stuff all the time. This ain't nothing new. I'm not trying to claim it's nothing new. It's just that this one, the verbiage, I just scan it. I gave it like a 5-second scan. And there was a couple keywords in there that caught my attention. I read it and I said, you know what? This is what I'm going to talk about today. Why am I going to talk about it? Because so many people get scammed this way. A lot of us just take it as common knowledge, hey, it's a scam. But when you send certain things like this to older folks, or older folks whose minds are starting to wander, they get caught up in these scams. Hell, people of all ages get caught up in these email scams, or they wouldn't do them. They happen on a daily basis. Milking people out of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So something that to me and my inner circle of friends, this is not an issue, but it is to folks who don't have that situational awareness about what's going on in the world. So here we go. I'm going to read this email. And some of y'all might have got the same email. I don't know. Subject line is offer of cooperation. Offer of cooperation, right? So like if you're scanning business related type emails, catches your attention. Offer of cooperation. All right, what product or what service or what type of bullshit this dude want to pitch to me, right? There's no reason to relax at all, but you don't need to panic and have to read my message carefully. It is really important. Moreover, it is crucial for you. That's some good adjectives right off the bat there. Joking aside, I mean it. You don't know who I am, but I am more than familiar with you. Probably. Now, the only question that torments your mind is how. Am I correct? Well, your internet behavior was very indiscreet, and I'm pretty sure you know it well. So do I. Oh shit, here we go. You were browsing embarrassing videos, checking unsafe links, and visiting websites that no ordinary man would visit. I secretly embedded malware into an adult site, and you unknowingly wandered right into it. Oh shit. I hope he's not talking about that midget porn site or that barnyard animal. And yeah, moving right along. Just like a blind kitten. You didn't know the danger that was just near you. Blind kitten. While you were busy with your suspicious internet activity, your system was breached by remote desktop protocol granting me unrestricted access to your device. Oh Lord, say it ain't so. From that moment, I received the ability to observe everything happening on your screen and discreetly activate your camera and microphone. Since then, And until now, I've been monitoring your internet activities. Honestly, I was pretty upset with the things I saw. I was daring to delve far beyond into your digital footprint. Call it excessive curiosity, if you will. The result: an extensive stash of sensitive data extracted from your device, every corner of your web activity examined with scientific precision. To make matters more intriguing, I've saved these recordings, clips that capture you partaking in, let's say, pretty controversial moments within the privacy of your home. These videos and snapshots are damningly clear. One side reveals the content you were watching, and the other, well, it features you in situations we both know you wouldn't want to be published for public viewing. Suffice it to say, I have all the pieces of the puzzle, images, recordings, and details of the far too vivid pictures. Pictures you definitely wouldn't want anyone else to see. However, with just a single click, I could reveal this to every contact you have. No exceptions, no filters. Now, you are hoping for a rescue, I understand, but let me be clear. Don't expect any mercy or second chances from me. Now, here's the deal. I'm offering you a way out. Two choices, and what happens next depends entirely on your decision. Option one. Here goes the carrot or the stick. Which one you want? Option one. Pretend this message doesn't exist. Ignore me, and you'll quickly discover the consequences of that choice. The video will be shared with your entire network, your colleagues, friends, and family will have front row seats to a spectacle you'd rather they never saw. Imagine their reactions. Holy shit, what an embarrassment. Well, actions have consequences. Don't play the victim. This is on you. Option two. So that was the stick. Here comes the carrot. Option two. Pay me to keep this matter buried. Consider it a privacy fee, a small price to ensure your secrets remain where they belong. Hidden. Here's how it works. Once I receive the payment, I'll erase everything. No leaks, no traces. Your life continues as if nothing ever happened. The payment must be made in cryptocurrency, no exceptions. I'm aiming for a resolution that works for us both, but let me emphasize my terms are final and non-negotiable. Here's what he wants. I want $2,600 US sent to my Bitcoin address below. The choice is yours. 2 days, the clock is ticking. Do not bother to respond. It's a generated email from your box. First thing I'm going to do is break down how blackmail works. Okay? And I'm going to call this person because I know who you are, and how I'm going to mess with you. I still haven't really figured that out, but I got a nickname for you. You're the blind kitten, Gatito Ciego. So listen here, gatito. My little gatito. I'm going to give you a lesson in blackmail. And then I'm going to go forward and talk about how this scam works. It's not very sophisticated. And then I'm going to kind of discuss how I figured out who you are. My little gatito. I keep forgetting the word for blind. I gotta look. I speak a little Spanish, but it's rusty. The first principle of blackmail is that the person you're trying to blackmail, gatito, has to actually give a rat's ass that the material be made public. Element number one, the person you're trying to blackmail has to actually care. They have to care. They have to give a fuck. You picked the wrong dude with me because I don't give a fuck. If you had pictures of me engaging in sexual intercourse, put them on the motherfucking internet. Send me the link so I can sit here and put it up on my 55-inch big screen, and me and Big Pumpkin, my old lady, will sit there and watch that shit. And there's a good chance she's already seen it and it's old news. Gatito, I'm a 52-year-old pirate who up until about a year and a half ago was a hard drinker, partier, sleep with multiple women on a nightly basis. You don't think there ain't shit floating around out there already? My goodness, I'm saving the good stuff for later in life. As I get more famous, I'm gonna sell that shit myself. I'd put it out there right now, but if I wait 10 years and get more famous, I can make more money. I'll sell that shit to TMZ and be a rich man, because I got some good stuff. So element number one of the person you're trying to blackmail actually giving a shit. Dude, you're talking to a 52-year-old pirate who puts a big majority of his life out there on a daily basis. Do you see any give a fucks right here on my face? That you, if you did have some porn activity, put it up there, post it, blast that shit out, put it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever the fuck you want to do, man. I'm waiting. You got images, recordings, snapshots with a single click. Pull the trigger. My little gatito, my little blind kitten. Go ahead, gatito. You ain't got the balls to do it. You ain't got the balls to do it. But in reality, folks, it's a scam. The dude ain't got shit. Gatito ain't got nothing on me, okay? What scares people up is that the majority of Americans watch porn. If you look at the statistics. So if you watch porn on a regular basis, or one time a week or one time a month, and you get one of these emails, especially if last night I was watching midget porn and this morning I wake up to this email, well, okay, you'd be like, holy shit, there was some malware on that midget porn site and I'm screwed. This dude activated my webcam and caught me doing whatever. But the reason my blood pressure don't get up at all is I don't watch porn. I have no time to watch porn, no desire, no need to. It's not something that I do. Okay? I spend enough time watching my old lady in real life during Tenderoni time. I ain't got time to watch porn. But I realize that a big percentage of Americans do. And that's why a scam like this will scare the shit out of you, especially if the timing is right. If 3 hours ago you were whacking off in the bathroom to your laptop open and you don't have your webcam covered with a Band-Aid or a sticker or something, then you get this email, holy shit, you're freaking out, right? And this scam will work from time to time. That's why they do it. It don't work on me because I know damn well I ain't been to none of those sites. Number two, I don't give a shit. If you do have some shit on me, go ahead and publish it. So the other element of blackmail is that the material that you're trying to blackmail the person with, it has to be secret. It can't already be public. You know what I mean? So if somebody did have some shit on me, they got it off the internet, it's already public. Number one, I don't care. Number two, it's already public. You got nothing. You're wasting your fucking time. This particular scam has been going around for years, that exact letter. All right, maybe I've seen it before. I don't know. But I just, threw it into Google. Okay, it comes up all kind of stuff. People have received the exact same letter. I'll call it the blind kitten letter, right? Damn, I tore the page. Gatito, I keep forgetting the word for blind. Ciego. So the Gatito Ciego, the blind kitten letter. And like 8 days ago, somebody just posted something on Reddit or what have you. So it continuously makes the rounds. This is not a scam that's coming from sophisticated hackers. Okay? What this is a form letter, and all you do is copy and paste into an email and just change the Bitcoin address. It's that simple, and then people blast it out and hope that somebody bites. So it's not coming from sophisticated hackers. It's just a fucking email. Plug in your little Bitcoin address, your little burner bullshit Bitcoin address, and hope that somebody gets scared up and sends you some money. This particular jackass is asking for $2,600. Okay. Who's doing this? Who is this person that sent me this email? He's not a sophisticated hacker. Gatito. I'm going to tell you who he is, and I'll just, without going through all the technical steps, I screenshotted everything, and I said, you know what, most people don't give a shit about that. You can go into an email has metadata in the header, and you look at where it originated from. It's bounced a couple of times. He bounced it off of a VPN in Korea. But Gatito, okay, you bounced it off the same VPN. So I rule out Korea right away. You're bouncing it off a VPN in Korea, and the two domains that you bounce it off of, here's your problem. You're a young guy, you're 30 to 35 years old, and who this guy is he's the tech guy. I don't want to give too much because I want to fuck with Gatito later on. He's the tech guy, he's the computer guy at a religious school somewhere between Mexico and South America. He's a Spanish speaker. Now I know exactly where the school is, but I'm not going to tell you because the school has nothing to do with it. He just happens to be the computer guy at this school somewhere in that geographical location. South of the United States. He's located somewhere in the Western Hemisphere, south of the United States. He's a tech guy at a Christian school. That's who you are. You're not a hacker, but what do you know how to do? You know how to build a basic WordPress website. You know how to do tutorials on, Microsoft products, stuff like that. You're the basic IT dude. I doubt that you could even set up your own server, but you're smart enough to set up a Bitcoin address, and you're smart enough to try to hide your email. But again, buddy, you're not a hacker. You're where you're at. You're probably the top dog in that area because most people don't even have electricity. So yeah, in that area, you're the top dog. But I don't consider you a hacker, dude. You know how to make a basic WordPress site. You know how to make a Word document, an Excel spreadsheet, and you figured out how to get a Bitcoin address. Okay, and you know what a VPN is. Congratulations to you. But where you go wrong is that your generation and your age group has been putting shit on the internet pretty much your entire life. All right? Now you got started a little bit late because you're in an area that's extremely plagued by extreme poverty. But it doesn't matter. You young folks put everything out there on the internet, and you're on every one of these things from Instagram to Twitter to you're on all this shit. And when you get on all this shit, you forget what the hell you put. 10 years ago, 15 years ago. My generation, if a guy, our early years, there's nothing to put on the internet because there was no freaking internet. Okay, so guys of my generation, go try to Google what I was doing in 1984. It don't fucking exist because there was no internet back then. But with the younger generation, their entire life, the minute they can get access to a gadget, they're putting their life out there. And they forget what the hell they put out there. So my blind kitten, you're going to sit there and wonder how I figured out who you are. It's not rocket science. I sat there and did it in front of my old lady. I don't know, it took me 20 minutes, and I had my suspect. Gatito. And it's one of them things, folks, where I could just come out swinging and put screenshots up there and say exactly who it is and where they're at. But when they're associated with an organization, I don't want to bring any discredit to the organization. They don't have anything to do with it just because some shithead fucking computer guy they hired to build their goddamn website or hook up a fucking printer is also at night sitting there on his piece of shit Acer with 3 keys broken, blasting out emails just hoping that he'll hit it big. That's why I'm not going to do it, okay? But Gatito, I know exactly who you are, man. If you receive one of these letters, folks, don't reply to it, because if you reply to it, you're just telling them that, hey, I'm a real person, this is a valid, active email account, and oh, by the way, I'm worried up. Don't reply. Just block that shit and go on about your day. And the scams, the sky's the limit. I think the one that probably scares most Americans is the IRS scam. You get something with the IRS header on there, scares the dog shit out of all of us, right? And 99.9% of the time, it's a scam. It's an absolute scam. I've dealt with elderly relatives who fall for everything, anything and everything. They think it's real. Because what happened, in our generation, growing up back then, when you got something in the mailbox, it was for the most part real. And if you grow up with that mindset, and now you get this email from the IRS saying this, you believe it, and that's how people just get taken for a loop. There's channels here on YouTube where those computer guys, them hackers. The good hackers, what do they call them? White hat hackers or gray, shit, I don't know. Black hat hackers. I don't fucking know what color hats they wear. But you know what? They do it to save the victims, right? And most of these scammers are where? They're in a call center sitting in India somewhere. Yeah, I said it, in India. Now, that's not saying that they're not all over the world. But if you ever watch one of them videos, most of the time they're sitting in India, which is an organized call center, organized crime type operation. They're paying off the local politicians, the local cops. Hell, it goes on here too. Just look up some documentaries, right? And a lot of times the people that are doing it are from the West. Gringos, British, Australians, scamming Australians. Australians seem to be the top ones that they scam for big money. Anyhow, this one is not. It's an individual down in an impoverished area who just has enough technical expertise. I'd say the hardest part of the scam is just getting a Bitcoin address. Anybody can send an email, copy and paste, send an email that's real, copy and paste a header. The hardest part is just setting up a Bitcoin address. They send out 10,000 of them and one fool bites. Well, it's worth their effort. I got a lot of older folks here on my channel. My average age of viewers is like 65. A big chunk are older than 65. And as you age, your mind is not as sharp. and I'm not casting stones. I'm in the same boat, you know. So I figured I would do this video just to say, hey, you get an email that has your blood pressure up that you're worried about. I would let somebody of the younger generation take a look at it and see if it's real or not. And there's 99.9% of the time it's a scam. But if that's one thing, oh, this could be from the IRS, don't reply to it. Don't do what they tell you. Certainly don't send them not one fucking penny. If they're asking to send money, it's a scam. But it's just one of those things that you can't get out of your mind. Let somebody else take a look. Let your granddaughter, your son, whoever, somebody younger than you, 65 or 70, let them take a look at it and reassure you that, hey, it's a scam. It's not the IRS calling you, telling you that you got to pay $2,600 by tomorrow, or they're going to put a lien on your property. There you go. That's my talk. Gatito, what am I going to do with you? Because you're not just scamming me, you're scamming everybody. But you know what? What do you do with folks like this? Okay, dude with nothing, sitting down south of Mexico. What are you going to do? Nothing. There's no risk to them. Nobody's going to go down there and prosecute these people. Hell, you got these whole call centers sitting around the world and nothing is done about them. So one cat sitting in Africa or sitting in Central South America, nothing. They have nothing to lose and everything to gain. If one person sends them $2,600, that's more than a year's salary where he's sitting right now. He'd be rich, be able to build a small house. He got nothing but time. You know, you see, let me try to talk light so I don't get this video banned. You see the U.S., President Trump directing the U.S. military to engage these drug boats. They've labeled them narco-terrorists. We're shifting the focus to say these are terrorists instead of drug dealers. That's a separate video to debate that, but engaging these boats loaded down with drugs. Think about the destruction that these scam call centers and these scammers who are wiping people out, majority of them elderly folks, robbing them of their life savings. Think about the devastation that they're causing. So I would not use a perfectly good missile on 2 or 3 farmers in a drug boat. I would save those missiles for whatever floor these scam call centers are operating in whatever country they're operating in. That's just me. I think I'd do a lot more good. Or hit them both. I'm okay with it. But if I had a choice to hit a scam call center or hit a drug boat, I'd hit the scam call center first. Damn. I pride myself to be a peace activist, but the way the world's shifting, desperate times call for desperate measures. Some of my opinions are shifting as well. So, Gatito. Damn, I can remember Gatito. I can't remember the blind part. Ciego. I keep saying cielo. No, ciego. Gatito ciego. My little blind kitten. What should I do? I'll think of something. I'll think of something. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. Gatito. All right, folks. That's my quick talk. Just some random person sending a old frequently circulated. We call it the blind kitten scam. The blind kitten email. If you've received it, let me know down in the comments. What do you do? Have you ever replied and yacked them? I've yacked them in the past, but the best thing to do is nothing. Just block them, delete, block, whatever. Because if they're sending them out, again, they don't know if they're active accounts, but if you reply, it's an active account, dude's worried, they got you on the hook, now they're just gonna double down on you. Whereas if you just block them, that's the end of it. They go on to somebody who will engage. I'm in the entertainment business. So should I engage Gatito? Nah, that's really not what to do here, folks. If you want some good entertainment and see some good payback, I think that's the name of it, payback something. Where them smart computer guys go after these guys and they'll activate their security cameras or the webcam in the call center, so they're sitting there watching them when they delete all their shit. It's awesome. Me, I'd send a missile. What's the word we can call them? Not narco terrorists. We got to come up with a scam call center terrorists. But they're prey on the elderly. All right, I'm out of here. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what I should do with Gatito Ciego. Ciego, right? I went to rip this thing out of my legal pad. I ripped it in half. What's the odds of that? Ripping it right down the middle where the top half says Gatito, the bottom half says Ciego. All right, have a good night, Gatito. Just stop doing what you're doing. It's not very nice. Especially a man in your position. A good Christian, as you portray yourself to be. I got Jesus right here on the wall. You know what? I'm going to say a prayer for you. Masquerading as a good Christian, and then as soon as you get home in that old Acer, trying to scam old people. Special place in hell for you, my friend.